Do you enjoy hearing birds when you're outside? Do you get curious about which bird is it that's singing? Or you want to get up close and personal with a bright splash of yellow that just zipped by? Well, then you'll enjoy it even more with just one simple tool, and that's binoculars. As a wildlife biologist, I can't emphasize how much this would enhance your bird watching experience as you go on a stroll watching birds outside. Now, chances are that you've owned or tried binoculars before, but maybe they did not feel that helpful or you weren't quite sure if you were using them right. So, in today's video, I'm going to walk you through on how to use binoculars properly and what I use personally for my birding adventures. By the end of this video, you will be able to head outside, spot more birds, and soak in the wonder of nature's living art. So let's dive in and bring in the world of birds closer to us. Binoculars allow you to see distant objects more clearly and in greater detail, making them suitable for a wide range of activities like bird watching, stargazing, sports events, or even tracking wildlife from a safe distance. Now, binoculars, like many things, come in many sizes and prices. They basically consist of two parallel tubes housing a combination of lenses, prisms, and other materials to create a magnified image of anything we are looking at. The two tubes let us view objects from both of our eyes simultaneously, giving us the depth perception in a 3D image. Now let's look at the parts of binoculars for easy reference. These lenses over here through which we look at things are called as the objective lenses. Usually, objective lenses have these little eye cups that pop out if you twist them. We've got these big lenses over here called as objective lenses, which gather light. Then we've got this focus wheel over here. There's a diopter ring which lets you adjust focus according to each eye. And we've got this hinge over here which basically allows us to adjust the width of the binoculars to fit our face. Now there are two types of binoculars, roof prisms and poro prisms. Before we dive into the details, let's quickly understand what a prism is. A prism is basically a solid piece of transparent material like glass or plastic that bends or reflects light. In optics, like in binoculars, prisms help in bending light to the right angle, flipping images so they don't look upside down, and sometimes even split light into colors like a rainbow. So in short, a prism is a clever block of glass that controls light to help us see better. Now, back to the two types of binoculars. Poro prism. They were named after their inventor Ignacio Poro in the 1850s and have been used since then, almost unchanged. They use two offset prisms to reflect the light twice, reversing the image both vertically and horizontally to flip and magnify images, giving them their signature M shape. They deliver high light transmission, enhanced depth, and a wide field of view at a lower cost, despite being bulkier and heavier than roof prisms. Then roof prisms. Roof prism binoculars invented in the early 20th century use either Abbe Koenig or Schmidt-Peshan designs that align the objective and ocular lenses in line. They feature a slim H-shaped design that's more compact and travel-friendly than poro prisms. Due to their design, they are easier to waterproof and fog-proof. However, their precise optical alignment makes them costlier and can result in an image that's about 12 to 15% dimmer. In short, roof prism binoculars are sleek and rugged for travel, but they come with a higher price tag for their refined optics. The two things to keep in mind when getting one for you. Now, when you pick your binos, you will see two numbers labeled on them. Not sure if you can see them over here, but it says 8 by 32, which means they have 8 times magnification and an objective lens diameter of 32 millimeters. Higher magnification brings objects closer to you, while a larger objective lens lets in more light, resulting in a brighter image, especially important in low light conditions. Most handheld binoculars range from 6 to 10 times magnification, with 7 times or 8 times being the best all-around options. While higher magnification sounds better, it also magnifies handshake, making your image jumpy and harder to follow. Now, if you go above 10 times, using a tripod is generally a must to give you that steady, clear view, especially for serious long-distance viewing. Now, let's talk about field of view. The amount of area you see through the binoculars at a distance of 1,000 meters. Generally, the higher the magnification, the smaller the field of view. Therefore, a 10 times model will usually have a smaller field of view than a 7 times model. In my opinion, 8x42 provides great bird watching experience because it's got a wider field of view, making it easier to track moving objects such as birds and wildlife. It really depends, however, on your own choice, as some people like to go for richer details over the ability to track bird. Once you get more experienced, you get steadier hands or use a tripod. Now you're aware of all the basics, let's just dive into all the details of how to use binoculars in the field step by step. Step 1. Adjust the eye cups. On your binoculars, you will notice these two small rubber cups. You twist them up if you don't wear glasses and down if you do. Now, step 2 is find your interpupillary distance. Well, interpupillary distance is just a fancy word for describing the distance between the two barrels on your piece. When you first look through the eyepieces on your binoculars, you will notice two separate circular fields of view. Your goal is to merge them together into a singular unified image. To do this, you gently move the barrels together or apart until you get that single circular image. So just to repeat it over here, you kind of like use this hinge to bring the barrels closer, or you push them apart to adjust your viewing until you get that single circular image. Now, the third thing we're going to talk about is focus. The two eyes might have a slightly different focus point, so to adjust for this difference, we are going to use this center focus wheel and this little diopter ring on the right eyepiece. Let's show it to you closely. This is the center focus wheel, and here's this right eyepiece diopter wheel. What you're going to do is basically just find an object right in front of you, like a branch or something. Place your hand on the right eye and adjust the center focus wheel using your left hand until you see that nice and sharp image. Now you repeat the same thing with the other eye. So you cover your left eye, looking through the eyepiece from your right eye. Use the focus wheel to make it sharper. And if it doesn't get as sharp as you would want it to be, you're going to use the diopter wheel on the right eyepiece, twist and turn it until you get that nice and sharp image. All right, there you are. You're all set. You wouldn't have to adjust this diopter setting again. Now don't worry if it feels awkward at first. I probably looked like a confused owl the first few times I used mine. Now there you are. You're now perfectly equipped to use your toy. While we are at it, I tend to highlight some of the mistakes that people do when they first start using binoculars and how to tackle them. Number 1, when you're looking at something, spot with your eyes first and then bring your binoculars up to your face. Don't try scanning through them looking for that object when you first start. Now, practice at home. Birds in your backyard or in the local park are perfect for training your skills. Now, don't rely on just the color. Light conditions can mess with how it looks. Focus on shape, size, and behavior. And for the love of nature, don't chase the animal. Observe safely from a distance, always better for them. And honestly, it makes the experience more rewarding. So that's it, your beginner's guide to using binoculars like a pro. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe if you want more wildlife content like this, and let me know in the comments what species you've spotted recently in your backyard. Until next time, stay curious, stay respectful, and I'll see you out in the wild. Thanks for being part of the Hopping Frog family. See you again.